So imagine paying, I mean, literally $900 for just this plain metal box.
Right, a box about the size of a paperback book.
Exactly. And it does absolutely nothing except, well, sit between your laptop and a conference room projector. So today, welcome to our custom-tailored deep dive, where we are actually cracking open the specs of the Kramer VP-426C 18G 4K HDMI ProScale digital scaler. That is a mouthful.
It is a massive name, yeah. But our mission today is to show you why AV professionals actually consider that $900 price tag to be, well, a bargain.
Which, by the way, is marked down from over $1,100 at HDTVSupply.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that hardware is basically an insurance policy against the ultimate presentation nightmare.
Oh, the dreaded blank screen.
Right. You know, you have an auditorium full of people, a guest speaker plugs in their laptop, and the screen just turns violently green, or it throws up that panicked no signal error.
Yeah, we have all been there. And to see why it costs what it does, you really have to look at the sheer chaos of signals this thing handles. I mean, people walk in with modern USB-C or standard HDMI or even, ancient VGA cables.
Oh, yeah, the dreaded VGA.
Right. So I kind of think of this box as a master UN translator. It takes all these messy, varying languages and translates them instantly. But it is doing a lot more than just converting the plug type, right?
Yeah, it is actively redrawing the visual data. The technical term for that is scaling. So it takes whatever low-res signal comes in and mathematically retimes and redraws every single pixel.
To output, what, flawless 4K?
Exactly. Flawless 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, and it pushes 18 gigabits of data per second.
Yeah.
You'll see specs like 4.4.4 color space thrown around in the manual.
Which sounds super technical. What does that actually mean for the person presenting?
It basically means the device processes the signal with zero color compression.
Oh, wow. Which matters a ton if you are, say, projecting a massive Excel spreadsheet. If you have compressed, crushed colors, that tiny text becomes completely unreadable.
Right, exactly. And then you add in HDR10 for high dynamic range. That massive 18 gigabit bandwidth becomes essential just to keep the image from lagging or tearing on the screen.
But pushing pixels is really only part of the magic here. I mean, the real lifesaver, the thing that justifies the cost for me, is a feature called constant sync.
Yes, constant sync is huge. Because anyone who has accidentally kicked a laptop cord knows the absolute horror of a projector dropping the connection.
It is the worst. The display panics, goes blue, and forces you into this slow, agonizing 30-second reboot cycle.
Yeah, right in front of a live audience.
The constant sync basically fakes the handshake. Even if the laptop gets completely unplugged, the scaler just keeps sending a steady sync signal to the projector.
Right, so the display never actually realizes the computer is gone.
Exactly. It never triggers that blue screen reboot. It just waits patiently for the cord to be plugged back in.
Which is incredible. But, keeping the video alive is crucial.
Yeah.
A flawless 4K picture is totally useless, though, if the system blocks your content or if the audio gets trapped in the wrong place.
Right. Which brings us to the whole HDCP 2.2 and 1.4 support thing.
Yeah, high bandwidth digital content protection. It is basically the anti-piracy lock.
So if you try to play a protected stream and your hardware lacks the right HDCP handshake, the projector just flat out refuses to display the image.
Exactly, and the Kramer scaler acts as the middleman to negotiate that handshake flawlessly. But wait, I know you had a question about the audio side of things.
Yeah, let me push back on one of the features here. The specs brag about flexible analog audio extraction, but we live in a world where HDMI transmits perfect digital audio and video together over a single cable. So paying a premium to strip out old school analog audio, I mean, that feels like going backward.
Well, it does until you look at how massive venues are actually wired.
Okay, how so?
Imagine a university lecture hall. You want the digital video traveling all the way up to the ceiling projector. But projectors have terrible built-in speakers.
Oh, that is true. They are awful.
Right. So the audio needs to be stripped out, converted back to an analog signal, and routed to a completely separate, balanced house sound system.
With its own mixing board and giant amplifiers and everything.
Exactly. And the scaler splits them up seamlessly inside this compact, fanless little enclosure they call megatools.
And it does all that without degrading that heavy 4K video feed.
Right. It really is just a dedicated problem solver.
Yeah.
It bridges decades of legacy technology with cutting-edge displays, just quietly doing all the heavy lifting behind the scenes.
Which is fascinating. So the next time you, our listener, walk into a sports bar with a flawless multi-screen setup or watch a perfectly synchronized presentation without a single glitch, you will know there's probably a hidden scaler like this one making it happen.
Yeah, doing the dirty work.
Exactly.
Which leaves you with something to ponder today. If specialized hardware is getting this incredibly good at bridging decades-old tech like VGA with modern 4K, will we ever actually abandon legacy ports entirely? Or will we just keep building smarter, more expensive boxes to translate them so we never have to face that blank screen of death again?